I'm tired, boss.
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of Digital Fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and today we have a very special deck tech because this is the very first deck tech of 2025. And I really wanted to hit the ground running and set the expectations for this year being community-centric by bringing in a community brew and shining a spotlight on a deck that has really been kind of crushing the ranked ladder for me. So shout out to Roaming Boss for showing me this deck. This deck is called Rakdos Joins Up, and it's very similar to a deck that we originally put together when some of these cards were new, but Boss kind of took it, added some newer cards, upgraded it, and put it in a more control-oriented direction and really made the deck sing. What is the deck? We're going to break it down in just a minute, but there is a 3-card combo where you just insta-kill out of nowhere, no matter what, and it's bananas. Before we break down the deck, make sure you like the video, help me get this out to so many more people, help me kick off the new year the right way, and let's make this channel sing. I appreciate you guys so much. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. Tons of craziness on the way, tons of craziness. Also, be sure to catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/quarantinecapricorn, because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. And I want to point out, we finally have a dedicated schedule over on Twitch that I'm going to strictly stick to in the following weeks and months, and I'm very excited about that because in 2024 we kind of were just winging it, finding time for streams when we could, and it really was sort of a New Year's resolution of mine to make sure we had an exact schedule that people could anticipate when I was going to stream. So go on over there, check that out, I'll see you there, but for now, let's break down the deck. We are kicking off 2025 in high fashion by shining a spotlight on one of our community members' brews, that community member being none other than Roaming Boss. And he's got a pretty crazy brew here. Now, this is similar to something we've put together in the past, but it's updated with a bunch of newer cards, and it's got a slant towards control to protect the combo while we're trying to set up for it. So the idea is we're using Abuelo's Awakening, Hulking Metamorph, and Rakdos Joins Up as a 3-card combo. If we can just get Rakdos Joins Up and Hulking Metamorph into the graveyard at the same time, and then resolve an Abuelo's Awakening, we just win outright. It doesn't matter how much life our opponent has, it doesn't matter what they do, as long as they let us resolve the Abuelo's Awakening, we're gonna win. And that's because this costs 4 mana and X, returns any artifact or non-aura enchantment from the graveyard to the battlefield as a 1/1 flying spirit. It also comes in with X +1/+1 counters on it. That doesn't really matter. We can just cast this for 4, and we don't have to really worry about the +1/+1 counters. But how it works is if we have Rakdos Joins Up in our graveyard, we bring it back with Abuelo's Awakening. It comes back as a legendary enchantment that is also a 1/1 creature. And when Rakdos Joins Up enters, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it, and whenever a legendary creature you control dies, Rakdos Joins Up deals damage equal to that creature's power to target opponent. So as soon as Rakdos Joins Up enters play from the graveyard because of Abuelo's Awakening, we target the Hulking Metamorph with the ETB ability. Hulking Metamorph comes into play from the graveyard as well. As soon as it hits in play, it can become a copy of any creature or artifact that we have in play, except it retains its power and toughness. So Hulking Metamorph comes in as a 7/7 copy of Rakdos Joins Up, which means it gets the 2 +1/+1 counters, becomes a 9/9, and then the legendary rule kicks in and says, hey, you have 2 Rakdos Joins Up, sacrifice 1. So we sacrifice the 9/9 Hulking Metamorph copy of Rakdos Joins Up, and when it dies, the death trigger on both Rakdos Joins Up sees the 9/9 leaving play, and we get to shoot 2 instances of 9 damage at the opponent's face. All the while, the second Rakdos Joins Up that entered play also had a trigger to bring back something from the graveyard when it entered the battlefield. And then that finally resolves, and we just bring back the Hulking Metamorph again. In this way, you can just bring it back infinitely, an infinite number of times, and every single time you do, you have to sacrifice one to the legend rule, and you get to deal the 9 damage twice. So infinite damage to the opponent's head. It gets really, really, really nuts. Now, how do we set up the combo? We're using things like Chart a Course, 4 copies, to draw cards and discard to get the things that we want into the yard, while also digging deeper in our deck to get our Abuelo's Awakening into our hand. We're also using 4 copies of Founding the Third Path. This will let us cast something for free, like Chart a Course, but also it will let us self-mill ourselves to get things into the graveyard that we want. And then on Chapter 3, if we happen to self-mill the Abuelo's Awakening, we can actually cast it from the graveyard and still get the combo to go off, which is really awesome. We're also copying, or casting rather, Picklock Prankster. We've got 3 copies of this. It's a nice 1/3 flyer that can gum up the board early for aggro, but the real reason this is in here is for its adventure, Free the Fae. 2 mana for an instant, mill 4 cards, and then put an instant, sorcery, or fairy card from among the milled cards into your hand. So this is another thing that can fill up the graveyard with our combo pieces, and if we happen to accidentally self-mill away an Abuelo's Awakening, we can just choose to put that back into our hand with the Free the Fae's ability. We're also running 1 copy of Tale of Tamiyo. On chapters 1, 2, and 3, you mill 2 cards. If you mill 2 cards that share a type, you get to repeat the process and draw a card. And just keep doing it every time you hit 2 cards that share a type. So that can be a way to not only get the cards we want in the graveyard, and it will trigger 3 different turns in a row, but also maybe draw us some extra cards. And then on chapter 4, we get to exile any number of instant, sorcery, or Tamiyo Planeswalker cards from the graveyard, and copy them and cast them if we want. So it's another way of getting to cast an Abuelo's Awakening from the graveyard, which is really, really nice. We're also running 2 copies of Kiora, the Rising Tide, because this is going to let us draw 2, discard 2 when we play it. So again, it lets us dig into our deck for the cards that we need and lets us put the cards we want in the graveyard, but it's also got some extra utility because it's a creature. It can chump block against aggro, it can buy us some time, or sometimes it can be used as an alternate win condition, because if we have Threshold, which we get very easily with this deck, whenever it attacks we can make an 8/8 legendary blue octopus, so sometimes we can just win that way, which is awesome. The rest of the deck is a whole bunch of control to just keep us alive to get there. We've got 4 temporary lockdowns to just eat aggro early in the game, 1 split up, and 1 Day of Judgment as our 5th and 6th sweeper spells in the deck. Sweeping's going to be incredibly important in a deck like this, where whenever we run up against aggro, we need to make sure we stay alive until we can get our combo online. It's not as hard as it sounds, though. We're also running 4 No More Lies to make sure that we have counterspell protection for our combo when we're up against control decks. We do need to make sure we get to at least 6 mana in order to hold up the counterspell while we're casting Abuelo's Awakening. But sometimes the counterspell can be used for other key spells as well. If our opponent's casting something really devastating, we can take care of it, give us some more turns to get to where we need to get, and that sort of thing. We've also got 3 copies of Into the Flood Maw, which can get us a little bit of tempo, get rid of a threat in the moment, really just put the opponent behind as far as tempo, and just try to survive long enough to get our combo off, which is really nice. We've got 1 Get Lost, because if we are in a pinch, this can destroy any creature, enchantment, planeswalker, kind of whatever we need it to destroy, and sometimes we might just need that 1 removal spell, so we are running 1 copy. And that's pretty much the deck. It's kind of nuts. And in playing this version, I've actually thought of a new version for my old version of this deck, and that will probably be making an appearance on the YouTube channel soon. It's going to use primarily red, and it's a different take on this combo that I'm super excited to dig into, but I kind of love this version of the deck. Shout out to Roaming Boss for showing me this, and it is pretty damn effective when ranking up, so I suggest checking it out. Now let's check out the games. This looks decent, especially if we're up against aggro. We'll try keeping it. Probably up against control, seeing as how the Shuffler decided to give us 2 sweepers. Shuffler likes to do that to us sometimes. Oh, you're up against Azorius? Here, have all of your sweepers. Alright, we'll start with the archive. I guess maybe we hold on to it. We could just counterspell things 2 turns in a row. That seems not awful. Deep Cavern Bat. Probably takes a lockdown. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Ruthless negotiation. It's pretty rude, man. Nope. Daddy says no. Alright, Hulu Archive. To the Flood Maw. Let's dump the Into the Flood Maw. We gotta get to better stuff. We gotta get there quick. Alright, we're gonna hold up No More Lies. If we don't need to use it, we will free the Fae. He thinks we don't have it. He thinks he made us waste it last turn. So he might get kind of crazy. Come on, Schwamp. Plays a Slasher. We'll counter it. Buy ourselves some time. He's trying to force us into a position where Split Up only kills the Deep Cavern Bat or the Slasher, and if we only kill the Bat, we get back a lockdown that can't kill the Slasher. So we can't allow ourselves to be put in that position. Alright, let's free the Fae. Free the Fae. Hello? Hello, sir. The Fae have been the Fae have been freed. I guess. We don't really have time to grab the Abuelos yet when we don't have anything in the yard to hit with it. There are other cards in the deck that can allow us to play that Abuelos from the yard later. Plus there's 3 other Abuelos in the deck. We just need to get more things that can dig us to what we need. Alright, so now we've got a blocker for the Deep Cavern Bat. He uses his cut down. Alright, I mean, he's running out of cards. Ruthless negotiation. That's fine. That is fine, my friend. We are going to free the Fae. And now we've got everything we want. We'll just pass the turn, because we can either free the Fae again and try to find Abuelos to win next turn, or we can Into the Flood Maw the Deep Cavern Bat. We didn't hit anything. We didn't hit anything. Do we split up to kill the Deep Cavern Bat? I think we do. Destroy all tapped creatures. Get back to lockdown. Play a Prankster to potentially trade with the Tiny Bones. The one downside is if he has removal, he can get through and exile one of our cards that we need. Which I think he's going to do. I think he's going to grab a Metamorph. Do we have 2 of each? We only have 1 Metamorph. We have 2 Rakdos Joins Up. But we can Rakdos for Kiora and still kind of win. I mean, you want to play the Metamorph. Most likely. I guess you could hit Kiora. You could also hit an Abuelos if you were worried about us getting it out of the yard. I think that's probably a mistake. He must not see the auto win. We can also Into the Flood Maw, the Kiora, so that we can play the Kiora. Which is kind of amazing. Thank you, sir. Discard 2 cards. Well, now we have 2 Metamorphs. We just want to set ourselves up. Alright. What's more important? Blocking Tiny Bones? Or making sure Founding the Third Path triggers? I think Founding the Third Path. So we're going to start this on Chapter 2. We're going to hit ourselves. We have 2 Metamorphs and 2 Rakdos Joins Up in there. We get to recast the Abuelos from our graveyard with Chapter 3 next turn. And then we just win. If he attacks with Tiny Bones, we block it. On the off chance that he tries to exile our Abuelos, because I think we only have 1. And then we would have to dig and find another one again. Alright, we got it. There we go. Combo achieved. Infinite combo. Just didn't see it coming. And there we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All the damage in the world. This looks decent. Let's get Abuelo's Awakening back in. Because we want to have access to discarding Rakdos Joins Up if we draw a card that lets us discard. Whereas we don't mind if we draw into Abuelo's Awakening a little bit after that. So we put the Awakening back. Put the Awakening back. We're just going to start, since we're on the play here, with Fabled Passage, so we can turn on the Verge. If I was on the draw, I would start with the Seachrome Coast so that we'd have access to Into the Flood Maw. But I'm not as concerned with their 1-drop. Alright, we'll hold up No More Lies. We're only going to play it if it's something that's going to really shorten our clock. I mean, we should probably shut that down. That's a lot of value. That's a lot of value. Alright, we'll free the Fae. Metamorph is there. We'll take 𝐻𝑒𝐿𝑑 since we're up against Simic. I don't think we need the split up as much. Totally not hungover, I believe you. My party last night wasn't as big as I thought it would be. But I had some friends pop over and we had a good time. I had aliens playing in the background and I made $93 worth of buffalo chicken dip and meatball subs and they were fucking delicious. One of my friends brought me a 5 lobsters because he is a lobster fisherman and he caught them fresh and cooked them and brought them to me as a birthday present, which was awesome. So I guess we probably want a 𝐻𝑒𝐿𝑑. And then next turn we can win if he doesn't have a counterspell held up. Opt. You down with OPT? Yeah, you know me. Archive, we'll keep the land. Yeah, right, Army? It's good stuff. He's a good dude. He wants to take us out on the boat this summer. Which should be fun. I kind of want to bounce it, but I also kind of don't care. He could be holding up a counterspell, so we're definitely not going to Abuelos this turn. Let's see if we can get some value out of temporary lockdown here. Hey, there's the negate. That's all we want to do right now is stall until we get to 6 mana so that we can back up our Abuelos Awakening with No More Lies. And get rid of counterspells in the process if we can. Well, now he's a dummy because he tapped out. So we win. We win! You fool! Ha 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 ha! Very close, Chunky. We got to Diamond 1. We got to Diamond 1. And we win! Good night! Good fight! This looks fine. Not amazing, but fine. We've got enough lands. We got both of our colors. We've got some control. A little more control than I'd like, but... Ooh, do we Flood Maw? I think we slow him down with the Flood Maw. I really do. I really do. Well, since we got Founding, we'll do it this way. We'll do it this way. Alright, Rakdos Joins Up is in the yard. Swift boots to the ass. Hey, what's up, Finn? Welcome to the stream. Swinging for one. That is a brave man right there. We want the land. Yes, we do want the land. Now we just need to control the board until we can, like, draw our abuelos, right? Which, I mean, temporary lockdown is... Hey, there's our abuelos! Can I just decline? Decline. Decline. Hi! Hello! Welcome. Hello. Oh, no big deal. Just an easy 20. All right, we'll keep this one. We will put back... No More Lies is not going to be great for us. Just because of the current situation, unfortunately. Chart a course, dump the Metamorph. And that could very well be that fourth chart a course that we added, you know? Lockdown is locked down. Fine. That's fine. I ain't mad. It is okay. Discard you. Discard. I guess the Prankster, right? Need one land. Just need one land. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Hello, friend. Hi there. What you doing in these waters? Not fishing. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies. Sweet. Keep this. It's fine, it's fine, everything's fine. Start with an archive. We're gonna keep this. It lets us make sure we can play our 3-drop on 3, which is important. We don't have anything to cast with this. But I don't want Chapter 3 to go off too early. So I'm actually just going to still pick Chapter 1. just so that I'm not stuck having to play something from the yard next turn. I can play Tale of Tamiyo or Temporary Lockdown, depending on what he does. Alright, we'll mill. Okay, Rakdos is there. Abuelos is there. Metamorph is there. Everything is there. So unless he's got a counterspell, we just win. Oh, damn it. Decline. So now it's gone! That's a bummer. That's kind of what I was afraid of, but we'll still go for it. What do you think, guys? You think he's got the counterspell? I don't know if he plays counterspells in this deck. Metamorph. Metamorph. We'll keep this one. Boom. Shakalaka. Sweet. There. This actually looks pretty good. We're going to keep it. Fabled Passage. Fabled Passage. We'll play this. Discard a Rakdos Joins Up. Draw a card. No tax. Now we got a blocker for the Skull Dweller. Force him to have to use removal. Nerefiel. Ha! He had to waste the proliferate. Mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. You know what? We're gonna do this too. Because we can. And then we're gonna do this. There's the Metamorph. All of the pieces are in place. We just need a fourth land. That's it. Being able to put out blockers is awesome. I love it. Yeah. I don't care, man. All I gotta do is stay alive. Augury. Augury. Let's make a treasure token. Do we take a chance and try to find the land, or do we just keep the treasure token for next turn? I think we just keep the treasure token for next turn. My only real worry is that he's got counter spells. And he's going to hold one up. Yeah, he's got 2 mana held up for a reason, for sure. For sure. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Augury in response. Well, damn, we could have won that turn. Discard a Bitter Reunion. Draw some cards. Still need a land, man. I just don't know if he's looking for a counterspell or what. I got cold feet. Distorted Curiosity. I think we just gotta go for it next turn. Whisper, sure. We're up to 5. I will keep that in mind, Milton. I appreciate it. Alright, we're just going for it. He might have a counterspell, but we'll find out. Yep. Well, there we go. Prologue to Phyresis. We are very close to dead. He's got another one, though. Let's try and land the Brass's Tunnel Grinder. And we're just going to discard everything except the Abuelos. Play out a land, pass a turn. And we're probably dead before we get to do it, unfortunately. I think I had cold feet. I should have played the Abuelos earlier. Even if he had countered it, I think it would have slowed him down on getting us with the poison counters. And maybe we'd be in a better spot. Like, he's definitely holding up counterspells, right? And we're definitely... There's no way he can't give us 3 poison counters on his turn. We just gotta go for it. We just gotta go for it. Does he have another counter? He doesn't. But he could still have removal. And he could use the removal in response to this coming into play. So that we don't get to copy it. Yep. That's what he did. Discard. Discard. Swing 9. Well, it was close. It was close. We just couldn't quite get there. But it was close. That's got to count for something. Alright, this looks fine. We're going to keep it. We're going to start with the Seachrome Coast. Pass. We will Into the Flood Maw, but we're going to try and get him to evolve it first. Get out of here. Chart a course. We'll dump the Rakdos Joins Up. How do we have 3 Hulking Metamorphs? What is this? And no land. And no land. It's fine. Everything's fine, right, Lawson? Everything's peachy. Dude, this is ridiculous. This is legitimately ridiculous. 3 Hulking Metamorphs, 2 Rakdos Joins Up. Can't draw a third land. We are a quarter of the way through the deck. Can't draw a third land. Just can't. Just can't do it. Well, now we finally have one. I guess we probably gotta take a turn off to temp lockdown, right? Actually, we probably could have let him play some more stuff first. But he's almost definitely gonna play a 3-drop next turn that the lockdown doesn't hit. So I feel like I'd kind of rather stay ahead. We just need a land and we win. Literally just need a land and we win. Alright, I think we got it. I think we got it. We'll fetch a plains, we'll pass the turn, we'll hold up No More Lies, and then we'll Abuela's Awakening for the win next turn. Sure. He has no idea what I'm doing. No idea. No idea whatsoever. That's 20 to you, buddy. Good night. I mean, we got there in the end. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck techs, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.